Usman has lost his mind. Kamaru Usman's recent takes on the welterweight division are making me think this guy might be the next BJ Penn. So today we're going to be reacting to Kamaru Usman's recent takes on the welterweight division and why Kamaru Usman thinks he should be next for Islam Makhachev. Starting off with this clip.
The company's going to come out. The company's going to go, there's a lot of action right now going up in the top of that division.
And that is true. There is a lot of action right now at the top of the welterweight division. It's arguably the best that it has ever been in UFC history, in my opinion. Usman is not in that conversation. This guy is not in the top of the welterweight rankings. You are ranked number 8.
It's hard to say, oh yeah, this guy deserves it. Because how do you say Morales deserves the title over Prates?
And we're going to get into that in this video because Usman, for some strange reason now, has this weird obsession with Carlos Prates. It's pretty obvious if we start using the thing in between our ears, our brain, as to why Michael Morales would be above Leon Edwards.
Who just finished 2 guys in the top 15 back-to-back. How do you say that me? Let's be honest. I'm the biggest bill on the division. How do you say I'm not deserving? We're all coming.
Pretty clearly. Also, Kamaru Usman says he's the biggest name in the welterweight division. Usman versus Islam is not the biggest fight that you can make in that division at all. Kamaru Usman, yes, is a big name and he is a legend. He's a former Hall of Famer, definitely. But the only time this guy's been in big, notable matchups is because of the opponents he's facing. It's not because of him at all. The 2 big fights against Colby Covington, why were they big fights? Because of Colby Covington. The matchups against Jorge Masvidal, why were they big fights? Because Masvidal was a massive star. It had nothing to do with Kamaru Usman.
Coming off of wins here. If the company wants to say, hey, we want to book the biggest fight right now in that division, we know
it's Ian Gary versus Islam Makhachev.
Know what the answer is. Former pound for pound versus pound for pound.
I think you're the front runner. Rankings at this point, they don't mean shit. Like, it's about who has the name, who's done what, and who can sell.
The company's...
And if Usman does get the next title fight against Islam Makhachev, what Henry Cejudo just said there at the end about the rankings not meaning anything is 100% true. Let's react to the next clip we've got here. Yeah, Usman has this weird obsession right now over Carlos Prates. We're going to react to this clip.
I would say right now, for me, I would say Prates. I still think maybe another fight to really kind of... I feel like he's done so much in such a short time. There wasn't enough to let that ripple effect really touch the masses all over the world. But I would say Carlos Prates right now, I like everything I'm seeing from him. His willingness, his excitement to go out there and compete and fight. Even if he loses, it's like, okay, I have to fix that and I'll come back. Like, that's what I love to see. And I think that's what Dana and the company and Hunter and these guys love, is these guys like that. So I love Prates. Morales, too, is also impressive. No hate on these guys. I love what these guys are doing.
Just quickly, Kamaru Usman, zip it up whenever you're done, my boy. What is with the glazing over Carlos Prates? Now, later on in the podcast, I can't find the clip on X, they do talk about Ian Gary, and Usman says that Ian Gary needs to do more. Now, that there doesn't make any sense at all. Now, Ian Gary is the most deserving. In fact, we're going to talk about this right now. This is the order of who should be fighting Islam Makhachev next in the welterweight division. Starting off first, it's Ian Gary. This guy is easily the most deserving right now in the division. Ian Gary has beaten Neil Magny, Jeff Neal, Daniel Rodriguez, who is now ranked. He's also beaten Carlos Prates, which is something that I don't think Kamaru Usman has... has that even entered his head? Does this guy know that Carlos Prates 2 fights ago got absolutely lit up? This guy was a heavy bag for 4 rounds against Ian Gary. So Ian Gary's beat him as well. And just recently beat the number 2 ranked former welterweight champion in Belal Muhammad. Next up is Michael Morales. Now, Michael Morales, he's undefeated. He's ranked inside of the top 5 now. He's coming off 2 big impressive wins. The last one being Sean Brady. Really good, dominant win. Sean Brady was arguably the next guy in line. Michael Morales absolutely smoked him. Before that, he did beat Gilbert Burns, who was on a losing streak. But nonetheless, Gilbert Burns was ranked inside of the top 10. He dismantled him in the first round. Really impressive. And the fight before that, he also beat Neil Magny. Those are the only 2 guys that are in for conversation on who should be fighting Ian Gary next. Usman isn't there, Prates isn't there. It is only Ian Gary and Michael Morales, in my opinion, that are the next number 1 and 2 in line for the welterweight division. Moving on to this though, Ali Abdelaziz, who manages Kamaru Usman. Ali Abdelaziz, obviously, allegedly, this guy must have something on Hunter Campbell and Dana White, because how the fuck does he get some fighters into these positions? So Islam Makhachev was reportedly offered Usman and Gary for UFC 324 in January. This is according to Ali Abdelaziz. How the fuck would Ali Abdelaziz know if Ian Gary was offered? Because the Ian Gary offer doesn't make any sense at all. Because Ian Gary just went 3 rounds in a tough fight. Yes, he won it, but it was a tough fight against Bilal Muhammad in November. So they were expecting Ian Gary to take a fight against Islam Makhachev like a month and a bit apart. Doesn't make any sense at all. But this is what's going to happen. This is why Ali Abdelaziz said, they offered it to Ian Gary, but now they're going to say that Ian Gary couldn't take it, or Ian Gary turned it down. And this is how we're going to get to this fight right here. A fight that nobody wants to see, but this will be Islam Makhachev's next fight, unfortunately. I think Islam Makhachev versus Usman will happen in April. I don't know when Ramadan ends, if it's March, whatever. As soon as it ends, the month after, Islam Makhachev will fight Kamaru Usman. This will be built up like John Jones versus Stipe, because Ali Abdelaziz, I don't know, has got dirt on the UFC, because that's the only way this fight happens. Because it's not as if Usman is this big draw that he has to fight for the belt. He just bypasses everybody because he's a big name. He's not. The biggest fight that can be made in the welterweight division right now is quite clearly Ian Gary versus Islam Makhachev. It is easily the biggest fight that can be made right now. But this is the direction the UFC will go, and they will build it up. Pound for pound number 1 versus former pound for pound number 1. You've even got Dana White now giving Usman the John Jones treatment, saying that he's the greatest welterweight of all time, when anybody with a functioning brain in their head and not their ass knows that GSP is the greatest welterweight of all time. But brace yourself, brace for impact. This will be the next welterweight title fight. It will be like a John Jones versus Stipe matchup. Usman will quite clearly lose. And even when Ali Abdelaziz is trying to talk about why Usman should be next, he gave Hamzat a tough fight. Fair enough, the Hamzat fight was a short notice. Then he goes, Usman can wrestle and Usman can strike. Usman's got a 1-2. Outside of that, this guy has nothing in his striking arsenal at all. He's got a really good jab and a good straight right. Other than that, non-existent with the striking. But Islam doesn't fight like Hamzat, which is just true. Yeah, okay, so what? Because they've got a similar beard and they're from the same region, that just automatically means Usman is their kryptonite. Look at the first round Hamzat Usman had. Hamzat absolutely threw him around like a rag doll and then gassed out. That's what happened in that matchup. Still impressive from Usman because he took the fight on short notice, but because he fought Hamzat on short notice and put up a tough fight and lost, does not mean he should be next for Islam Makhachev. He's coming off a win over Joaquin Buckley. Before that, he was on a 3-fight losing streak. He needs at least one more win. How about this? You said the Prates might need one more win. How about you fight Carlos Prates while Ian Gary fights Islam Makhachev? Or better yet, how about you fight Michael Morales then? And if you beat him, you solidify yourself as the number 1 contender. This is number 1 bullshit. This is bullshit, this fight, but brace yourself. This will be next. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. Has Usman lost his mind? And as always, like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And I'll see you again in the next one.